Hey, it's the Older Striplet, and I'm doing my thoughts on Young Justice Season 2, Episode 5, Beneath. Okay, well, I'm going to start with this. This episode was rather special to me, mostly because, this is the first episode in all of Young Justice that I was actually able to get up in the morning, go turn on a TV, and watch on the TV. Normally, I watch it online a few hours after it airs, because I always have something to do at 11, and I have to leave at 10:45 to get there, so I'm never able to watch it. Which sucks, but I was happy with my first time doing this. I wasn't happy with commercials. I've learned what they are now. Okay, so as for Beneath, I liked this episode. It definitely showed a lot of girl power. Yeah, girl power was basically the theme of this episode. It showed different sides to these girls. It showed what they're like, and I definitely like that it's there. So we start out with no girls. Actually, we start out with this punk-looking kid skateboarding and heading to a bus station, and it turns out he's a friend of Jaime's. Still think that's what how his name is pronounced. And he calls him up and says he's leaving town, and of course Jaime's like, he tries to talk him out of this, but he's dead set on going. So what he does is he turns into Blue Beetle to fly over to the bus station, and we see more of the suit's bad attitude. And I love what Jaime says to Suit. The suit's just like, "Oh, we need the suit. This suit is meant for a greater purpose." And Jaime just replies, "I'm trying to stop a friend from making a massive mistake. What greater purpose is there?" And that's just like, that's such a good line. It's so true. What is more important than your friends in this world? Okay. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to keep going with the B story, and then I'll round back to the A story. So Jaime goes to his friend's house later that day, and he talks to his Ty is the friend's name, and he talks to Ty's mother. We find out Ty's mother is dating this idiot named Maurice. And Maurice, we meet him very soon. He's just this dickhead, really. And so the suit tries to kill him, basically. The suit registered hostile intentions and decides it'd be best just to kill him. Maurice, once again, he says something to the school, to Jaime about like school and stuff. He's just a dick head. It's the only word to describe him, honestly. But basically, yeah, that's basically it. Oh right, and he also mentions how Ty is like scared of him all the time. It's such like a wimp, and it's just like, go to hell. No one wants you here. Jaime then goes to visit Ty's granddad, who is kind of weird. I personally, like, he drinks water and no one can speak when he was drinking water. But at the same time, he makes me laugh. And so he's like, Maurice is kind of jealous of, so the granddad's just like, Maurice was jealous of me because I was the tribal leader. And he is jealous of Ty for some reason, because he will be the tribal leader. And he also says something to Jaime about like self-discovery and seek answers to make peace with the one inside of him. And the suit's like, he knows too much! Destroy him! I swear to God, this suit is bloodthirsty. But then Jamie leaves, and he's just like, okay, yeah, thanks for your help. Gonna leave now. And he goes to this shed type thing where where Maurice is, and he's looking for Ty, and he gets caught basically, and Suit still wants to kill people. He confronts Maurice, but Maurice only wants money, and in the shed where he thought Ty would be, there's like pirated DVDs and games and such, and basically Maurice threatens him, but he doesn't honestly know what Ty is. Because as we know, Ty got napped. Literally, someone took him. But yeah, then Hammy's just like, oh well, I'll call the police on him later, but we really need to find where Ty is. So that's that story. To the good parts, the A story. So the girls' squad is, well, I got confused originally where they were going. I thought they were like going to Korak, I think it's called, but I think they were just flying over to get to Bialya, and they're investigating to find where the bomb from Alienated came from. And we learned that Wonder Girl has ADD. That's one of the things we learned. And Miss Martian worries about Simon, because he's like Bialya's personal mind bender. But Nightwing assures her he's safely locked up and comatose somewhere after his last encounter with her, which would have been... Actually, I think that happened in the 5-year gap, honestly. Another thing Nightwing says is since Queen Bee, the dictator of Bialya, can control minds of men, that's why it's an all-girls squad. And Batgirl, she totally, I love her, but I hadn't known her before. This one line totally, she earned my complete total respect and love. She was just like, oh really? And would you have felt the need to justify an all-male squad? And the other girl's like, And Nightwing, of course, is like flabbergasted, if that's even a word, which I don't know. And basically, she's just like, there is no right answer for that, is there? And I'm sorry, Nightwing is Nightwing. Dick Grayson, honestly, if you can stun him, I don't care if you are a part of the Bat family, if you can stun him, you have major skill. So they get to Bialya. They're infiltrating this sort of camp. Once again, we see Wonder Girl's hyperactive. And she can't do stealth really well. So she has to stick around, and the other three goes. One of the things I noticed is McGann can now go through walls. I think she was able to do this at some point in Season 1. I know she's definitely been able to do it before in Season 2. I just never paid attention to it before. But in her introduction episode, they said she couldn't do that. So I'm kind of confused when she develops the ability. Oh well, I'm pretty sure I remember her doing it in the last episode of Season 1, so she must have done it sometime in Season 1. But I'm still trying to figure that one out. So there's a truck. So a truck arrives, and Wonder Girl sees this, and it has Shimmer, Mammoth, Devastation, Icicle Jr., and Simon in it. And she has to go and warn the others, and she does pretty well at the stealth thing originally. And she saw McGann. McGann was like supposed to be invisible or something, or maybe she was just intangible. But I totally thought she had the invisibility thing going for her, and immediately Wonder Girl spotted her. So I can't think it's invisible, but I do, and it's just like, wow, your invisibility sucks. So I'm just really confused on that. Can she turn invisible or not? Martian Manhunter could. Can she? Somebody answer me. No, I'm just kidding. And basically they go to warn the others, and Wonder Girl gets spotted by Devastation, who raises the alarm. Icicle comes, and he makes a joke. Okay, Icicle Jr. Honestly, this guy, he could be the villain that is their age and could, like, flirt with every hero and probably every villain his age, female, on this show, and it would just be perfect and so funny, and he'd get like rejected every time, but we'd all love him, and we'd write fan fictions about him finally finding love, and they didn't do that. I feel like they still could. We could still salvage this. Oh, there's a use for salvage, but honestly, we could still do this, and it would work. But I want him to do this. Okay, but basically, Wonder Girl breaks free. Bumblebee meets Batgirl inside of a vent. They escape into this ancient-looking place. Batgirl lives up to the family name and does the whole ninja disappearing trick. That was pretty good of her. And she finds a bunch of things. And she discovers these kids in some sort of containment unit. And she's knocked out by Simon, taken prisoner herself. Wow, that worked well. So back with the others, Cassie is like freaking out because like, oh my god, they're not here. It's all my fault. Bumblebee shows up, and Cassie's just like, Bee, you're alive. And Bee is such a cool. I think honestly, I think it's because she's a sassy. It's just because she's a sassy black girl, and that's not me being racist. But it's a matter of fact, she reminds me of my best friend in the world, who's also a sassy black girl. They just have the best lines in the world, and she was just like, was that really in doubt? I think that works for me. It went so well. It made me laugh, and it was just great. The bad guys already leave. Miss Martian, when they show up, and Miss Martian takes out Shimmer while Bee releases Batgirl. And funny thing is, she has to sting her, and it's just kind of funny. And Batgirl has to go fly a plane, basically. Simon immediately knows it's McGann, and basically she threatens him. She's like, ready for round 2? It's like, I know I'm gonna win. When the other bad guys find out McGann is Shimmer, Mammoth gets really pissed off, and that's because Mammoth and Shimmer are brother and sister. For anyone who didn't know that, that's never been implied heavily in the animated series before, but it's a definite thing in the comics. And yeah, I loved that because I'm a sucker for, as everyone who's ever watched these videos, I'm a sucker for brother-sister relationships. Brother-sister, father-daughter, I love them both. Or anything of the kind, really. I blame it on the fact I don't have any. So, basically, Simon says that he's fighting her on the psychic plane. They're having a psychic battle. And Icicle Jr. is like, dude, you don't have a really good winning streak against her. And I'm just like, so true. But basically, he's just like, I'm trying to distract her. Go kill her. And we see that Junior is a sociopath. He's like, ooh, that sounds good. The plan starts to take off. More fighting ensues. Icicle Jr., he's just like, this is for breaking my heart in Belle Rev. But then Bee distracts Simon, and this is one of her next line. Simon's like, Simon says, I don't know, something. And she's just like, Bumblebee says good night, and knocks him out. And it's just like, oh, Bee, you're so amazing. But then Icicle Jr., McGann is out of the psychic realm, and she basically hands Icicle Jr. his butt. It's really funny. One girl, for a short time, defeats both Devastation and Mammoth. Mammoth makes a comeback and crashes the plane, basically. Luckily, Alpha saves it. Woo! And the bioship is once again referred to as a she. I just find that a good point to put. We need a backstory on the bioship. And I know I love backstories, but honestly, why is it a she? I feel like if I had my own bioship, I would talk to her and I'd go, yeah, she says that you are a total loser and should get out of my ship. I'd so do that. Back at Mount Justice, we figure out that Queen Bee is more of a middleman and she's kidnapping humans to this to an unknown partner, and we're all trying to figure out who the partner is. I'm just like, it's the shadowy guy from the last episode. Basically, Nightwing says good work. We have a cute group hug. Back in Bialia, Queen Bee is pissed off. She's like, luckily we had another shipment, so our partner will be fine. And that's where we see Jaime's friend Ty again. And I originally thought he'd be in the original group, but then I figured out like a little bit later, if he was, I feel like they would have closed in on him and make it really obvious, and they did for the second group, and that's how we know. But yeah, so that was the episode. Once again, I am doing a really long video. So those were my thoughts, and leave a comment and tell me yours. I will see you guys later. Peace.